Hello, friends. Welcome back to It's a Ootsy Thing and What's for Supper. Well, it's Monday, and I hope that you have figured out what you're going to do for your meals this week. We've got some things going on this week, so I'm not going to be doing a video every night because I'm going to be pulling some things out of the freezer and having for supper for some quick suppers before we go on to things that we have going on, grandkids ball games and things like that. But tonight for supper we're going to have steak fingers. Pretty easy supper. Basically what steak fingers are is just round steak cut up into strips. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just cutting my steak up into strips. I'll get my breading here in just a little bit. You can make these whatever size that you want them. You don't want them real long, so keep that in mind. And basically, if I were to be fixing chicken fried steak, it would be one steak per person. So I'm just cutting up 2 steaks because it's just Michael and I. I'm going to also make some mashed potatoes and gravy. Michael likes gravy, and so he also likes mashed potatoes. I do too. And I guess I'll fix some frozen corn as well. So I'm going to wash my hands. Turn my light on my stove here. And I'll be using beef tallow to fry my steak fingers in. While I'm getting this heating, I will get my breading as well. I don't know where you live, where you're watching from. I'd love to know where some of you are watching from. But here in Oklahoma, northwest Oklahoma, it has been absolutely gorgeous today. I've been cleaning house and was starting to get hot. I opened up the windows and I almost thought, man, I almost need the air conditioner. There's some areas in Oklahoma that it's in the 90s. Thank goodness we're not there yet. But it's been 75 here today, but let me tell you, it's been absolutely gorgeous. I went outside a couple of times and oh, so nice. We had plumbing issues over the weekend. You know, it always happens on Fridays at 5 o'clock. My kitchen sink stopped up, and Michael tried to use his 25-foot snake to snake it out. That didn't work, and so we had to wait till today, and the plumber came, and about 20 minutes he had it all unplugged. So anyway, we got to deal with that this weekend. But I'm very thankful. In my utility room, I have a kitchen sink, and so it made it nice that I was able to wash dishes in there. So I'm going to get my breading ready. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can put this in buttermilk if you want to, or just use regular milk. I forgot to get some buttermilk at the grocery store yesterday when I was there. I do have some buttermilk in the freezer, but forgot to get it out and thaw it out. So I'm just going to use I'm just going to use regular milk. I always keep either a half a gallon or a gallon of milk in my freezer at all times, just for emergencies. Okay, I've got that in my milk. I'm just going to let that soak in there for just a little bit. All right, I think my grease is ready. I'm just dipping this in flour. That's all I'm doing. And then putting it in the grease. It will not take long at all for these to fry. I should have already had my potatoes going. It's going to take the potatoes longer than it's going to take these steak fingers. But I'm already doing it, so I'll just get it going. And of course, if you have any special seasonings that you like to put in your flour, you can do that as well. I'm just doing plain old flour, nothing fancy. I'm not in a fancy mood today, I guess. I clean house on Mondays, and so I've been busy doing that all day. So since I've got that all done and got my laundry all done, I don't care anything about making a lot of supper. A couple more and we'll be done. This is the ultimate comfort food, isn't it? Gonna give it some salt and pepper real good. We're just gonna let those fry. I'm not gonna put the lid on them just yet. I'm gonna fry them with the lid off for a little bit. Gonna get my potatoes going. I'm just going to do 2 potatoes. Oops. Because we don't need a bunch of potatoes. It looks like my steak fingers are about ready to turn. Okay, let's let those potatoes go and I'll turn my steak fingers. They're looking yummy. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Here's my corn. Okay, my steak fingers are done. So I am going to take them out of the oil and put them on a paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and shut my heat off. I'm going to have to take some of this grease out so I can make my gravy. It's going to be a yummy supper. And my potatoes and corn are coming along just fine. since I just did 2 potatoes and I don't have a whole lot to make, I'm not going to mess with getting my electric mixer out. I'm just going to hand mash these with my potato masher. All I am doing is adding some butter to my cooked potatoes, some sour cream. I've got very little milk for the gravy, so I'm going to use half and half in the potatoes, and I don't need a whole lot, so just a little bit of half and half, and salt and pepper. And the corn is done. This really is a fairly easy supper again. There's not a lot to it. And it tastes good. Okay, potatoes are done. I'm going to do the gravy. I have way too much grease for gravy, so I'm pouring this into a container. It will solidify and I will put it in the trash. So I just need a little bit because I'm not making a lot for just the 2 of us. So I'm going to heat that oil back up. Now I'm just going to put, I'm going to guess I have probably a tablespoon of oil or grease in there. Maybe 2 tablespoons. So you're just making a thickening. With your flour and oil. I'm going to get just a tiny bit more, I think, because you don't want greasy gravy. All right, it's going to be just enough for the 2 of us. I'm going to pour the rest of my milk in there. Hopefully that is enough milk. And I will give you a little tip. This has been used from the old timers for years and years. You run out of milk and need to thin out your gravy just a little bit, you can use water. Now if you were smart, you would have saved your potato water, but I didn't. And I should have. But it's just fine. It's a little bit thick. I'm not going to worry about it. Well, actually, I've got just a little dab of half and half that I need to get used up. I'm going to use the rest of that. Might as well get stuff used up so it doesn't go to waste in your refrigerator. And with us being busy this week, I need to get everything used out of my refrigerator. Now Michael loves gravy. This is going to be, there's going to be extra so he can have his gravy. We've got our steak fingers. We have mashed potatoes. And corn. We'll top the potatoes with some gravy. Put a little dab of gravy over here on the side so he can dip the steak fingers in the gravy. Maybe I should have used the bigger plate tonight. We usually just eat off of small plates. So this is our supper tonight. I hope you've enjoyed another episode of What's for Supper on It's a Ootsy Thing. And it's easy. It's just good old comfort food. So thank you for joining me. If you would like, subscribe, and share, I appreciate the new people that have joined us. So you guys have a great evening, and we will see you next time. And remember, enjoy your meal.